Here with Mark Rosa. What's good, Mark?
What's good? What's good? How you?
I'm chilling, man. All right, so what's popping today?
No, it's a little quiet right now. We a little early. All the guys coming around like 4, so I mean, just waiting. I mean, just kicking back and relaxing until it's time to work for real.
Anybody got any upcoming fights?
We got an amateur show November 27th, and then we back at TKO November 12th. The pros, I think we got 3 guys November 20th. Jeremy Cuevas, Latif O'Burlton, and Alejandro Jimenez. So yeah, we got pros and amateurs working now. So yeah, we got a lot coming up. So we just sharpening the tools up.
Is it good to see boxing like up and running now? It seems like there's a show every week prior to the COVID era.
For sure. Because when the lockdown first happened, we didn't know when a fight was coming. There was fighters that had trouble making weight because they didn't have gyms to go to. It was just everything was just like unknown. You know what I mean? It was like it wasn't predictable at all. We didn't know exactly what was going to happen. So now that amateur fights are becoming more consistent in the area, and pros are actually getting fights now, it's starting to like go back to normal. So yeah, for sure.
Is it hard to make weight in the bubble? Because we saw like a bunch of guys miss 1, 2, 3 pounds.
Well, I haven't been in the bubble recently, but I was in the bubble the one time out in LA in early January this year, and I don't know how things are now, but when I was there, we already had came on. Latif already had came on weight, so it wasn't an issue. But maybe if he would have been a couple pounds heavier, it would have been more tough because I think like they only allowed us in the gym for like 1 hour at a time, and things were just like real limited. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't much you could really do, and it wasn't like it was like you was either in the room, you were eating, or you were in the gym for an hour. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a lot of restrictions that didn't allow fighters to make weight how they usually do, whether they're using like a sauna or they could go out for a run, whatever it is. Just real limited.
So you already know I gotta hit you with this. Mm-hmm. This Saturday, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury.
It's definitely intriguing, man. It's definitely a fight that I wanted to see. I'm glad they're making it happen. I think it all depends on how Wilder approaches it. If he comes in similar to how he came in the last 2 fights, and just lunging with that right hand, he's gonna be doing a lot of missing. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully he finds different ways to sneak that right hand in there. And if Fury takes the same approach to the second fight than he does for the third, then it shouldn't be hard to find him because he was constantly coming forward. So I think it all depends on how Wilder approaches it. He with Malik Scott now, they're trying different tactics, different strategies. So I think it all comes down to how Wilder approaches it. If he listens to Malik, then he could make it a more interesting fight and provide new obstacles for Fury to go through. But yeah, it all depends on how he approaches it.
What's the best or what's the most effective way to fight a Tyson Fury?
You got to make Fury uncomfortable. You know what I mean? You can't let him get comfortable in his style, all that feinting and moving around and working off the jab. I think you just got to make him uncomfortable. You got to fight this man. You know what I mean? And you can't let him be all cute in there. So he would have to come forward, put pressure, and he got to make it a rough fight. He got to make it a rough fight if he wants to. Similar to how Otto Wallin fought him, inside real rough and aggressive. You know what I mean? I understand Otto and Wilder are different physiques. They provide different styles, but I think he got to make this a rough and rugged fight to make Fury uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And from how he's talking, he said he's gonna hit the shoulders, he's gonna hit the arms, he's gonna hit the body. The way he's saying it, I believe he has the right approach. He has the right mentality. He has the right game plan for the fight. You gotta make it rough for Fury, make him uncomfortable. Because if you just fight him at his fight, then it's gonna be a good night for Fury.
That sounds like the principles of Philly boxing, though. Just punch him anywhere.
Yeah, make them uncomfortable. I mean, wherever you hit them, if you hit them there enough, it's not gonna be a good feeling. You know what I mean? Get hit in the shoulders too much, them arms start to drop. You know what I mean? Just wherever. You just gotta make them uncomfortable, man. That's the key.
Can a fighter of Deontay Wilder's age, I think he's like 35, can a fighter of his age change in, I think it's been, what, a year and some change, maybe 2?
I believe everybody's different. There are people that are better and faster learners than others, and then there's people that just stuck in their ways and just go back to what they know. I won't be able to answer that question for certain until Saturday. But I mean, Wilder's a very gifted athlete, and he has a very strong mind, especially with all that's been going through to the lead up to this trilogy. So if anybody could do it, I think Wilder's capable of making some changes and adding some new things to his style and bringing a different fight.
Give me a prediction. How does this fight end?
Man, that's a tough prediction. I'm rooting for Wilder, man. I'm always gonna root for my fellow countrymen, especially when we going against a guy that's not from our country. I'm gonna go with Wilder by a 9th round stoppage. Let's just go with that. I think he's gonna bring the fight to Fury, make him uncomfortable, and I think he's gonna find a way to sneak in that right hand and finish off Fury.
Now, there's been a lot of, I'm gonna say, accusations of Tyson Fury to gloves, maybe water tampering, etc. Right? Do you feel like there's any credibility or any credence to some of the suspicions behind the whole Fury camp?
When you watch the video and you see how the way that glove was moving, it definitely looked a little bit abnormal. You know what I mean? But I'm always a guy that goes by the evidence that's being presented. You know what I'm saying? I do think that there was some dirty tactics that Fury had used against Wilder. He did it against Steve Cunningham, and he's definitely had a history of like manipulating his gloves in some ways. So I could definitely see why people believe that Fury is a cheater. But me personally, I don't have enough evidence to really say that Fury is a full-blown cheater, and that it's tough to say. You know what I mean? I seen old sparring partners of his saying that he was using dirty gloves or whatever. It's definitely, I can't be mad if somebody said that he's a cheater, but me going by the facts and the evidence that's being presented, I can't really say too much. Now, if something comes out and it shows that Fury was openly cheating or tampering with the water, etc., then I'll be able to say that. But it's real tough to say.
Okay.